Welcome to the Brainal Podcast. This is episode 45, October 19, 2016. I'm your host, Jepi Condyle.
And I am Frozen GFX.
And I am Good Coffee.
So this is our first podcast post PSVR. We will talk about that later, but we just got some juicy news about the NX reveal.
Let the juice fall.
Coffee, I say tomorrow, you come over early. We watch this thing together, this whole trailer for the NX. Can you do that?
What time should I be over there? Like 9:30? So we have a half hour?
Yeah, that
sounds
sounds
good.
Back
up a bit? Can you just kind of explain what's going on with the...
All we know is Nintendo's unveiling a trailer tomorrow that's supposed to show what the NX looks like, 10 a.m. Eastern time. That's all we know.
Yeah, 10 a.m. And
we
don't know how long it is. We don't know if it's a full direct or if it's just like a 2-minute teaser. Yeah.
Apparently, according to what I read on Polygon, it's just a teaser, but I don't know. But so I was out and about and I saw that in my little feed and I was like, oh, October 20th. And I realized today's the 19th. And I immediately, it's so funny because as much as I've been looking forward to this, I'm like, oh, I need more time to prepare. Because the next day, tomorrow, I don't know if I can. I'm nervous. I am nervous, but I'm not. It's not a bad nervous. I'm excited, but I need to be with someone when that thing drops.
I'll hold you.
Hold each other.
I'll hold you.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'll whisper sweet nothings.
Yes, dude.
Or sweet somethings.
No.
Cuddle up on a blanket on his couch and enjoy.
And I'll wear the VR.
Yes.
And you don't wear it?
That's crazy. It's strange that it's not a direct. Or I don't know. That might be, but a teaser, 10 a.m. Eastern. Which means that's strange. It's like 7 a.m. in in California.
People time.
That's usually, I don't know, that seems a little early typically for when they unveil stuff. Usually it's like 1 p.m. our time.
What if it's like, here's a teaser and it's dropping in stores right now?
It's already out.
Oh, God. That's crazy.
I already have one.
Yeah.
It's under your bed. Oh! I'm excited.
It's hand delivered by Mario.
Frozen, how excited are you just about that unveiling in general?
I'm excited to hear what the hell this thing is about, man.
I want to see what it looks like. Okay, according to what I read, it's the first glimpse. So I hope it's not some little thing.
It's going to be like...
If they just show what it looks like, I'll be okay with that. But I hope they don't just say, just features and they still don't show, you know?
Yeah, watch it be just like a cell phone. Or something.
What if they show gameplay footage to show what that's like?
They should. If they're going to do a teaser, they should drop a little nugget of something.
It's crazy. That's crazy. Yeah, anyway, how you guys doing?
Doing all right, man. Doing good.
Good.
I do want to discuss the PSVR, but let's just go over some news. Now, granted, I haven't really been keeping up with a lot of news lately. Been busy with work, but something caught my eye today that I think would be at least intriguing to Good Coffee, mainly because of how this can relate to me. Today, it was announced that, at least for the PS4, I don't know if it's for the Xbox One, they are going to, in November, they're going to have Amnesia 1 and 2 ported to the systems.
Oh, man.
Amnesia.
Yeah.
Oh.
It seemed like from the trailer that I don't think it's a remaster at all. I think it's a direct port, but the resolution looks like, I guess, just a lower resolution because the game's pretty old, and if they're not gonna upscale it or anything, or maybe they are, I don't know, but it looked like it was framed in a way that I guess would make the resolution good. Look good.
It'll still scare you.
But yeah,
I mean, it won't. I don't think
it'll
VR horror game scare you, but it'll scare you.
Yeah, but I'm excited. It was very interesting to see the trailer, and the first two things you see are frictional games, which brought us Soma, and the Chinese Room, which brought us Everybody's Gone to the Rapture. I'm like, man, that's a great 1-2 punch.
Yeah, yep.
That's cool. So I think November 22nd-ish, I think comes out. But I'm
nice.
Probably gonna pick it up. But
isn't that Thanksgiving or? No.
Actually, I have no idea.
Yeah, it's right in time for Thanksgiving.
Oh,
yeah. I think Thanksgiving's the 24th. So,
ooh.
Get to scare your socks off right before the turkey dinner.
It'll help you get rid of some of that turkey.
Took the fan.
One way or another. Took the fan.
So, is there any other news?
Yes, I mean, the announcement of Red Dead Redemption 2.
Oh, yeah. That's a big one. That's right. I forgot about that. Wait, was it officially announced? Is it actually called Red Dead Redemption 2?
It's just said it's a real thing. They haven't. I don't think they've given a subtitle or anything. It's just for now. It's Red Dead Redemption 2.
Because I think that title is pretty. To me.
I mean, it's just the game name with the 2.
Yeah, but I mean, the first one wasn't called Red Dead Redemption. So yeah. I just wish it was called something else. But that's cool.
Redeem Harder.
The
Hard Redemption.
The idea. Yeah, so that's the thing. I was actually pretty. I don't know. Obviously, I don't think there are any trailers out yet, but I think Rockstar has been, or is it 2K? I don't even know. They've been tweeting certain images, right?
Yeah.
Gotcha. Yeah, they have been dropping little nuggets.
Yeah.
Heard it of the day.
That's pretty interesting. Any of you ever play Red Dead Revolver, Red Dead Redemption?
I did. I never beat it.
No, I
played a little bit of Red Dead Redemption. I mean, I liked what I played of it, but I must have been sidetracked by other things because I'm not the biggest open world game fan. But I think the context of Red Dead Redemption agrees with me more than Grand Theft Auto. But any other news you guys could think of?
I know the Pokemon Sun and Moon demo dropped. I actually got a chance to play that. How's that? It really good. Great. I like it way more than I liked X and Y, which I did enjoy. It's really good so far. I'm excited to pick it up come November.
Wait, do you happen to know when the date is?
November 18th.
Okay. Man, they've been marketing Sun and Moon for a long time.
Yeah,
I would expect it to be any day now, but I didn't know it was November.
You should try the demo. It's free.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm not the biggest Pokemon fan.
Do it!
Pokemon!
What are you, Frozen? Any news?
I do have a few bits of news to...
Few nuggets?
Yeah, I was going to say nuggets, but yeah, a few nuggets to drop on you guys. It's PC related, but it does center around gaming. Cool. I'm not sure how familiar you all are with graphics cards, whether it's PC or Mac.
I am ignorant to that.
Okay. I know a little bit about it.
All right. So basically, when you're talking about graphics cards, you're talking about two major powerhouses, NVIDIA and AMD. Two different architecture of graphic cards, and they kind of battle back and forth for supremacy.
Did AMD do the Radeon?
Yes, AMD does Radeon, and NVIDIA does the GeForce.
Okay.
One. So for the past few years, more than 5 years, I'd say, NVIDIA has been edging out in performance over AMD, but with a downside of it being very expensive. As of right now, their flagship card is a GeForce 1080, which is, I think, about $600 and up, depending on the flavor that you get.
Reasonable.
Yeah, right.
Well, look, I don't know. Is that a reasonable price? I have no idea.
For the amount of power and performance it provides, it does.
Cool.
It is reasonably priced, but obviously, everyday consumers and people who are just PC enthusiasts that build their own systems, that's almost I would say close to 50% of a budget of building a new computer. So it's a huge financial obligation to drop on that card. On the other end, AMD has sometimes equaled but just kind of fell short on performance on their cards. Their flagship card now is the Radeon R9 480, I think it is. And their price point is between about $300 to about $400 and up. So it's a secondary option, but again, a lot of times the performance difference between them is not really that noticeable on like middle class cards, but in those flagship cards you can definitely see a difference. Anyway, from what I'm getting to now is AMD has always been, I just hit my mic, sorry about that. AMD has always been more catered to budget-minded enthusiasts, and their cards are priced accordingly. But NVIDIA has announced that they're going to be releasing a card, the GeForce GTX 1050, which is slated to be an MSRP of $109. It's going to be coming out in the end of October. I think it was October 24th. No, 25th. So it's not going to be VR compatible, but there is rumors that it may just go through the minimum spec of the Oculus Rift. So there may be some playability with that.
Yeah, because I heard that Oculus is able to drop their minimum specs. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, so that's really kind of a slap in the face to AMD with their price point of $109. No real results on performance, how it performs in the 1050. But NVIDIA has a very good product. They, in my opinion, they really don't cheap out on any components. So I think it's going to be a very viable solution for anybody wanting to upgrade their graphics, but not hit so harshly on their wallet.
Gotcha. That's cool.
So yeah, I just wanted to bring that up. The other thing was, are you guys familiar with Asus, the company?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, so Asus just recently, as of actually today, they introduced a new monitor that is strictly for what they're focusing on, console gaming. Okay.
Really?
Yeah. So when monitors nowadays, there are two different features that, depending on the manufacturer, the monitor they include in their products. So, and it goes back to the NVIDIA and AMD rivalry. So we have a feature called FreeSync, which is AMD trademark, and G-Sync, which is NVIDIA trademark. Basically, what these two features do is they help reduce the input lag in gaming, from your mouse and keyboard to what you see in your screen, and they smooth out the frame rate so that way you don't have any tearing, or you don't have any strange artifacts in your screen. Well, Asus has announced this new monitor that includes the FreeSync technology, and it's catered towards the console gamer to eliminate input lag from the controller to what you see happen on the screen, and also help reduce the bright light that can sometimes prolonged use damage your eyesight, and also just kind of create blind spots for you as you're playing for a long period of time. Now, it's the first company to use such a feature on a monitor that's dedicated for console gaming. But I'm suspecting that other manufacturers are going to start coming out and start providing a G-Sync variety of that. One interesting thing in here is that one of the major differences between FreeSync and G-Sync, FreeSync is very dependent on the graphics card, enabling that feature for delaying your input lag. To reduce your input lag and to get a smoother frame rate throughout. G-Sync, on the other hand, incorporates a chip within the monitor to do that. So it's a bit strange why Asus would do FreeSync to a console gamer, because consoles right now, as I know of it, don't actively support that feature. So it could be something in the future. Maybe they're future-proofing it, where consoles in the future may come out with that. But we'll see what happens with it. But I thought it was really interesting because it's the first that I've seen that's dedicated to a console gamer in that way.
Never heard of a console monitor.
Yeah. I mean, obviously you can do, you use it in your PC or whatever.
Is there, do you know any resolutions with these?
Let me see. I had it up here and I just closed it.
It's fine. I mean, if you don't, it's fine.
Yeah, I believe it will support up to 4K. I lost it, so
That's okay.
I'll find it later.
Cool.
And last but not least, something I'm very excited for. I've told you guys kind of throughout the episodes that I'm looking to build a new computer or upgrade my computer. Mm-hmm. And me in particular, I am a AMD. I tend to like AMD products and AMD processors in general, which again, they're more budget friendly for me in particular. But in the past 6 to 8 years, there hasn't been very much advancement in their processors, and Intel has gone above and beyond, just created a whole new Mount Everest to achieve as far as their performance.
Sorry.
Yeah. But there has been a rumor going in the past few months, or actually a few years, you should say, that AMD is developing a new architecture of a new processor called the AMD Zen, which has always been talked about. Oh, it's going to release soon. It's coming around the corner, whatever. We finally have a date that it's going to be in the CES show in 2017, January 2017. And they are going to be offering one of their processors that is supposed to rival the flagship Intel processor and also be significantly cheaper. So I'm very excited about that. I think I've been holding off building a new computer because of that. So when that drops, definitely going to see that and see what I can do to snag that up and build a new computer.
Cool.
That's all I had for you guys as far as the tech side.
Well, I hope CS proves awesome for you.
Thank you.
No, thank you. Thank you, Frozen.
That's a lot of info.
Thank you for representing the PC crowd.
Yes.
Because Lord knows I respect them, but I have nothing to offer.
Exactly. Same.
No.
I got nothing.
All right. Well, there you go.
Okay. Let's get into what we've been playing. A lot has happened in the past week, right?
All the things, yes.
Yes, I am.
Are you stupid? Yes.
So I'm trying to keep in mind that those of you listening to the podcast, I've not talked to you guys about this because I've talked to Coffee and Frozen ad nauseum about PSVR. So we picked up the PSVR on launch day, hooked it up, and I was very fortunate enough to have Coffee and a couple other friends over. We all got to experience that for the very first time. Virtual reality, in general. I know Coffee tried the Gear VR. I understand that. But it's funny because the cliche is absolutely true. You have to try it for yourself. And the idea that people have always said VR in general, no matter what headset you use, is just a little blurrier. People talk about the screen door effect where things look like you're seeing things through a screen door. That's there. I saw that too. It doesn't encompass your whole field of vision. You do see an outline of what where your vision stops. That's there, but I'll be damned. Everybody says that once you start moving around, your head and your brain starts to get tricked that you're there. It is extremely immersive, and for me personally, that is an experience, a day that would be has to be top 5 most significant moments in my video game life. Now, what do you say to that, Coffee?
I say yes.
Yeah. So
I absolutely it is more than just a little bit that I had to find the sweet spot, and when I did, man, it's pretty super immersive. There was one, without spoilers, there was this one part in one of the games I tried where I just wanted to sit in there, just hang out.
So we'll get specifically to PSVR in a second. And just for the record, Frozen, you have not tried VR yet, correct?
That's correct. I have.
Get out.
No, because I requested that Frozen. I want to be there when he tries it for the first time. So in December, he's going to try it. And I can't wait. So in VR in general, now this I'm assuming goes for at least PSVR, Oculus Rift, and the HTC Vive. So for all of them, minimally, which a lot of people are touting as a high-end VR. It is ridiculous as to your brain, again, really gets tricked into the idea that you are in this place. And immediately, for example, I've been watching the PSVR World's shark footage for months. I've been watching this ever since it was touted as a demo, a tech demo a while back. I've been watching this over and over. I've been watching people react to it and everything like that. And one thing I immediately noticed is everything's big. It's huge. Everything is life size. And I start to realize how much we've been tricked playing things on a monitor or TV where that thing looks small now compared to things in VR. And the way it was set up was the first thing, this is my first VR experience. So I popped in the PlayStation VR Worlds thing. And so I'm in there and I immediately see the screen door effect. I immediately see the blurry vision. But I expected that. And then I'm in this, I don't even know what it is, like this round hall, monumental hall, and these lights are flying all around me, and it's showing the different things you could play, and that was pretty crazy. And but the one I tried, it was a London heist, and I remember the very first thing, it was somewhat of interrogation with this one character, but then they transported me to a room in a bar. And I think, because at Coffee, you and then the other people, you guys saw this on a TV screen, right?
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
Oh, sitting down. This guy comes in. He's talking. It's like a Guy Ritchie movie. But I've been dying to try this where you can, the high-end VR headsets have head tracking where you can move around and your perspective changes and you can really get close to something. For example, if you guys know in typical video games, if you get very close to a huge structure, most often the texture, when you get close to it, you start to see how it might be low res, right? But the way they do this in VR, I don't know how they do it, but they seamlessly up the resolution when you get close to something. So no matter how close or how far you are, when you get closer, you actually see more detail. And I was looking underneath lamps. I was looking behind me. I was looking underneath the table. And it was ridiculous. And then I just completely forgot I was in my home. and I really felt like I was this guy was talking to me, and he was talking to me, and he was making eye contact, and to the point where I felt he was talking to me. But I didn't want to play too much before the other people tried it out because it's supposed to be a group thing, and then I passed the headset to Coffee. And so, Coffee, why don't you describe your first experience?
Oh, geez. So Jepi, correct me if I'm wrong, but you asked all of us that were attending to basically pick from the PlayStation VR world what experience we'd be interested in trying. I hadn't really heard much about PlayStation VR worlds. I hadn't really looked much into VR. I tried the gear, but as far as the games for PlayStation VR, I kind of didn't really pay any attention to, besides what I saw on the back of the box when I was in a GameStop. And I just remember seeing the shark thing. And you know what? I have a natural fear of large creatures underwater, sharks, giant squids, things like that. And I was like, well, let's see how real this VR really feels. Let's give it a shot. So I put on the headset, gave it a shot. I was actually talking to you, Jepi, like the day before, and I remember you saying that a lot of people reacted very intensely to it. And I actually started getting a little nervous about the idea of coming over and trying it, but decided, why not? Let's do it anyway. And
now, wait, sorry, I'm sorry to interrupt, but I messed up because the way they labeled the encounters for those who don't know, PlayStation VR Worlds is a $40 game that was packed in with my bundle that has different. It was pretty much tech demos, and the reason I wanted different people to try different things was because I wanted somebody to try something that had no idea what was going to happen. So I don't want people to try what I just saw when I just saw it on the screen, But I messed up because I remember I did not choose Shark Attack because I thought it would have jumped you straight to the shark, right? So I ended up doing a couple things repeated, I remember, just to get to the shark. Mm-hmm. But, just take it from there. Your very first time you're in there. What was it like?
Okay, so the very first time I was in there, first thing I noticed was just how big, like you said, everything was. I was in this water cage. The first experience I did, the cage wasn't moving at all. I was just stationary, and there was a whole bunch of sea creatures swimming around me. And the depth was amazing. The sound was amazing. I felt like I was underwater. Saw a turtle come up really close. I was able to tilt my head down and look over the railing because of the head tracking, and it was just, it was brilliant. It took me a little bit for my, my head and my eyes to get used to it, the brain, but wow, it was intense. And then the shark thing, and nothing could have really prepared me for that experience, mainly because it was intense. Like, it was before the shark even showed up, and I'm not trying to ruin it for anyone else. I'm not going to go into specifics, but there's one part where they take you deeper and deeper in the water, and everything was so real about it around me. I know, Jepi, you noticed, I was starting to freak out. Like, I didn't even want the headset on anymore.
For the record, when I tried VR, I did not, for the first time, nothing was scary. And then our mutual friend was there and his girlfriend were there. And I remember we were, especially if you knew our mutual friend, this is the way he is, we were laughing at how freaked out Coffee was getting. But I knew how real it could get, even though I did not try the shark thing. Our mutual friend has not tried it yet, and he was laughing, right? And you kept saying we actually had to come up with a safe word, in case, because I had to differentiate whether because he said, you kept saying, I don't know if I can do this, I don't know, but I didn't know if you really meant that or if you were just getting freaked out. I don't know. But you kept going. You were a trooper.
Yeah.
Granted, I've never done this before, so we can see what's happening on screen. But
Yeah. Well, the biggest issue was me is I knew a shark was coming, and I didn't know what it would look like and when it would show up. And I was just plunging into this black abyss where I could barely see anything, and I felt like I was actually plunging into a black abyss. And I was like, "No, stop! No!" And you can't. There's nothing you could really do. You're just kind of in there. And
it's a great white. It's a great white shark that eventually comes in.
Yeah, great white shark. The thing is massive. Blood all. When you see great white, it has the blood around the teeth, and it was intense. Like, it gets all up in your business. It's not shy,
and for the record, they were going for realism. They weren't trying to make it look like overly scary or exaggerate anything. They tried to make it as realistic as possible, and
it did. It looked incredible. I mean, you remember me because it has full 360 view, and I don't know what I looked like, but I'm imagining I looked like a possessed monkey or something.
The funny thing was, before the shark thing, at the very calm beginning, and I did tell you this, Coffee actually had moments where he looked like that Time magazine cover virtual reality guy, where he's just his hands are out like this, like wings, and just looking. And I should have checked his feet. He probably was floating.
I was. It's hovering.
But then So here's the thing. I've seen a lot of footage of it. I watched it as Coffee was doing it, and later that night, after the other people left.
Wait a second. One thing I didn't mention. This is the one thing that I thought was interesting, is that my sympathetic nervous system response was like, I started breathing rapidly, like rapid breathing. I started sweating. My heartbeat sped up like hardcore. Like I had never been so, like, I felt like I was there. And I'm just like, I don't know how some people do horror with this stuff, because I mean, I do, but I don't.
We'll get to that.
Yeah.
Oh man.
But go ahead.
Sounds intense.
I'm
sorry. Go
ahead. Yeah. Go. No, Coffee. That's Frozen. Go for it.
No, I was just about to say, Coffee, that experience that you're describing, I'm thinking of Soma and Jepi. You remember that descent that we had in Soma?
Yeah. Not as surrealistic, because they were going for realism.
Right.
Yeah, and not nearly as long. But but if they did that in VR, screw that. So even after all that, I tried it later on. So the shark attack thing, I knew what happened. It's so fresh in my memory because Coffee just did it not too long before, and but Coffee really wanted me to try it, and I did it, and it is ridiculous. Again, I apologize for being cliche, but that stuff is right in front of you. That shark is right there, and you saw me, Coffee. Where it tried to attack, I thought it was gonna bite my balls. I actually covered my balls, and I said, "My balls."
You did.
Seriously,
I thought you were acting because you.
I was not. None of that was acting. It was terrifying.
Yes. And even the guy that was making fun of me tried it, right?
Yeah, and he immediately texted Coffee right after, apologizing for making fun of him.
Well, not only that, he also grabbed my leg in the middle of it, which was
he said he was going to do it.
Oh, that's not cool.
Don't, because he didn't try it. But Coffee took it like a boss. He took it like a boss.
Yeah, I set him on fire later that evening. Still suffering.
But
how's this for VR?
Everything's just bigger. It's big, but when I say bigger, I don't mean excessively big. It's just life size, and I swear it really does feel like, even now, and I played a lot of VR since, when I put the headset on, I really do feel like I'm being transported to another world. Obviously figuratively, right? And but every time I put on, I get excited, and other things we tried that night, just heads up. So for the PSVR headset, keep in mind, I've not tried the Rift, I've not tried the Vive, but comfort level, Coffee, what'd you say for this one? The actual headset.
Very comfortable. I was surprised at how comfortable it is, frankly.
It takes a little getting used to as far as the order of adjusting that works best, as far as put on the head, and then because there's an elastic band that you can adjust, and then you can also slide. I think they call it the visor, the actual where the screen is, that unit closer or further away from your eyes. If you do wear eyeglasses, it does accommodate for that. Apparently, I don't wear eyeglasses, but our friend wears glasses, and I don't think it bothered him at all.
No, he didn't even mention it. So
yeah, and now it's to the point where if I want to put it on, it just takes a few seconds to put it on. The unit does come with a breakout box that takes care of the splitting, the 3D audio, and I don't know what else. The splitting of the HDMI signal. And the cool thing with the PSVR is up to the developers. The TV screen, which is known as a social screen, can display something different from what the virtual reality headset is showing. And once everything's set up, and if you hide the breakout box pretty much, I always have the wire somewhat accessible. So if I just want to plug in the headset, just plug in a couple cables really quickly, put it on, headphones, and you're good to go. What else did we try? Our friend tried. What did he try?
He tried Rush of Blood.
Oh, Rush of Blood, the roller coaster.
Until Dawn, yeah.
Until Dawn, and he was freaked out by that, but he
he was.
Loved it.
He said it was the best video game experience of all time until he tried something else in
and
VR,
then he's like,
which
this
he
is
liked
the best.
better.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah. I don't know if I could take him seriously but yes.
Yeah. His girlfriend tried, who doesn't play many video games. It just so happened that she tried out Rez first, the demo. She did really well. And I was like, if you don't know what Rez is, it's a very abstract game from the Dreamcast era that they have ported to PSVR. We didn't try that till days later because there's so much that we tried. And then we did the VR, the Playroom. That was a lot of fun.
Mm-hmm.
The cowboy thing was so cool. It was so cool. It was a sheriff, and the other people were watching a TV screen, and what they saw was a perspective of the bartender was trying to show with a picture to people seeing the TV screen who I need to shoot with a plunger gun, who I need to arrest. Like I'm into this saloon, and when you get in there and you look around, first off, outside is daylight. It's bright. I was shocked at how bright the screen was, because usually when I think of 3D visuals, like in a movie theater, things look dark, right?
Yeah.
But this was very vibrant, very bright. You look all around you. I happened to look up, remember, and that bird crapped in my eyes.
Yeah, it did.
And then you walk in, and then you just see
it's beautiful.
The robot prostitute on the second floor, and the person playing piano, and everything. Very charming, and it's just a lot of fun. And then I could gush about it forever. I really could.
Especially got into Batman Arkham VR.
Oh my Lord. Look, we're going to talk about that in a second with no spoilers, I promise. But please, if you are somewhat the least bit skeptical or curious, I beg you to try some VR. It does not have to be the PSVR. How would you, Coffee, how would you relate it to the Gear VR experience? Because I've never tried the Gear VR.
Blows it out of the water. Now, granted, I didn't have it on hand to compare it with, but yeah.
Here's my question: Did the Gear VR? I think this is probably the most significant difference, if I'm right. Did the Gear VR have that head tracking that you can go around thing? Okay, because to me that's what was ridiculous. This is not just looking around at 360 degrees. You can, within a very limited area, grant you, this is not the HTC Vive. You can, depending on the game, you can move around, go up and down, and just really look at things. And it's just ridiculous how much detail is put into some of these things. Try it. Really try it. I'll never forget that, ever.
I do want a disclaimer, though. I do not think people should go right out and buy it before they try it. Just because of people getting sick or headaches playing the machine. It's I think it frankly too expensive of a thing for you to have buyer's remorse over if you are more susceptible to that kind of thing.
Right. Coffee had you had a little headache, right?
Yeah, and I kind of got used to it, but I realized it's not something I could do for extended periods of time before my brain gets a little shot.
Right. And me, I didn't get any motion sick until I played.
Rigs? It was Rigs, right?
Yeah, it was Rigs. Just the freedom they give you as far as jumping was like, oh wow, I had to get used to this. Because again, the proprioception is not matching up with what you're seeing. But I feel like, because I've tried some other things, I've not tried Rigs again, but I'm getting more used to it. And I try and tell people, I feel like it's a lot like astronaut training, where they have to be conditioned to get used to certain things. I feel like that's what it would be for some, not all people. But even if you do tend to get motion sick, there are amazing games to try out that don't require you to move, or the camera's not moving. Other games we played, Thumper was incredible. Super Hypercube was really great. We tried a lot of stuff. Keep Talking Nobody Explodes was fun. Job Simulator, right? Coffee tried that. It was hilarious. But Arkham VR was the one thing that I've been really, really dying to try.
I'll never forget that night.
Yeah, just, we're not going to spoil anything. But the places that game takes you will make you respect Batman, not for what he can do, but what he has to put up with and how he risks himself. Granted, I understand Batman's fictional, but let me put it this way. Every time I read comics now, especially with Batman, I will look at things very differently than how I used to read comics before. And it's crazy. Just as a heads up for context, the story, from what I understand, of Arkham VR, not a long experience, but really amazing, takes place in between Arkham City and Arkham Knight. So you would need to know a little bit of what happened in Arkham City. And this does lead to something that happens partway through Arkham Knight. So just keep that in mind. Oh God, I can't.
Yeah.
Yeah,
it really is.
Well, yeah, I don't know. Frozen, do you have any questions about VR in general?
I just can't wait to play it, to be honest with
you. I can't wait for you to play it, man.
I can't wait to play it tomorrow, dude.
If you're lying to play it, I can't wait for your parents to play it. I just today, I had some people over for work actually, and I really wanted people to try it. And this one girl, she tried the Shark Attack, so she's never done VR before. And immediately, and other people were watching it, it was just ridiculous. So it was very interesting to see someone, I know our friend's girlfriend, we saw her reaction, but I wanted to see someone else. I just want to see what kind of effect going into VR for the first time has on people. I did try, and the coffee was right next to me. I did try the kitchen demo as part of the demo disc. And look, this just proves, okay, so VR horror, I don't know if I could do it because I don't know. I'm going to have to
I tried it with you, man, and that was, ooh.
Yeah, no. And he was just watching a TV screen, right?
No, I remember what are they? There They Lie. I put it on.
Oh, no, sorry. I was referring to kitchen specifically.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So keep in mind, this headset costs hundreds of dollars. It seems fairly durable, though. Hundreds of dollars. I know what happens in the kitchen demo, which is, I guess, a setup for Resident Evil 7. I know exactly what happens because people have described it time and time again. I've watched YouTube videos. No footage of it has been seen because they did not allow any recording of it at E3 2 years ago. And then also on top of that, if you play the beginning hour Resident Evil 7 demo, they show very small clips or nuggets, if you will, of the kitchen demo in there. And so, I put the headset on, and just to press start menu, you're in the kitchen. I'm like, oh my God. Because, guys, everything else is gone. You can be in a movie theater watching a scary movie on a very big screen, but you have the context that it's far away from you, and there's things around that you can look at. You can close your eyes or whatever. There's no one around you. You can't hear anybody else, and at least me personally, I felt very vulnerable because you can't just cover your eyes.
Oh yeah,
you can't cover your ears. You're just pushing the headphones closer to your ears so you hear better, right? And then on top of that, I finally pressed X to start. I knew that guy in front of me was going to get up. I knew he was going to cut the rope, so I'm sitting in a chair with my hands tied with a knife. I knew that behind him I would see a woman creep up, right? But Coffee was there the instant and I knew it was going to happen. The instant I saw the woman, the way she leapt, like she ninja style went to a place. It wasn't really slow. Coffee, what did I do?
You ripped the headset off with a little shriek.
I ripped the headset without even thinking about it. I'm like, no.
You're just like, no.
Yeah. Everything was like the headphones, the headset, all of it I just shoved off my head without even thinking about it. And she was right there. She was right there. And it's your body perceives these, and you know it's not real, but your body perceives these things as they are right in front of you, and it can be amazing, but it can be traumatizing.
Oh yeah.
And then somehow I tried to muster up some more balls. This was a different day. I think it was in the middle of the day, right? Coffee would try to hear they lie. And it starts off where you go into this train. It's daylight, and then it immediately switches to a nighttime version. The train's moving, and it's very the lights are flickering, and I was just like, no.
It's very dirty and dingy and kind of gross.
You can move, and then you move to the next car, and then we just saw all of a sudden these figures, and it is terrifying. I don't think I can do it. People, I watch people play Dreadnought VR. It's ridiculous. What'd you say?
Yeah, I mean, what?
What did Frozen say?
I was just saying, I can't wait.
Yes, you can.
I can't wait.
Hey, Jeppy, we doing it tomorrow?
Yes.
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 We want to talk about Rez?
Yeah, we played Rez. Wow, go for it, man. You talk about you never played the original. I have.
I never played the original, and wow, playing through Rez was like playing through a drug-infused, magical, spiritual journey. I don't even know. Like I wasn't on anything, and like I was flying through these landscapes, and the music was playing, and I was like, I feel completely off my rocker right now. And, like, literally, I could feel it. Like, the dopamine was, like, shooting, like, into every single part of my body. And more so than any other game has done before. I mean, I know some people, when they play rhythm games, especially the ones that are more, hypnotic, they could do that to you. But this just takes it to a whole new level. Like, I was just out there. I was, like, when it comes to being transported in another world, woo, that game... The game did it, man. Especially the last level when you saw that.
Yeah, let's not get into the specifics of that one. But the for context, you control this being that can take different forms depending on your level of, I guess, progress or whatever, or performance, I should say. But you're flying, and it's going forward, right? And you're trying to move this cursor around and try to hit as many, I guess, targets or bad guys, and it all syncs up with the music. And the music, Star Fox. So everything's very polygonal. And again, the original game came out, I think, 2001, on the Dreamcast. So, and it was funny because when you were playing it, I was watching the TV screen. It looked like just the original game to me, and the music is it's funny because the music, at least for the original levels, are very 90s techno, to the charmingly so. And it was just crazy. So we traded off levels, and each level has a boss. But then there are just 5 areas, so it's not a really long game. But the toward the end, it gets pretty philosophical, less abstract. Oh, actually, still remained abstract, and the idea of what the final boss was pretty amazing to me. And I wasn't playing in VR; I was just watching you play it, and I thought it was really cool, slightly crazy, very abstract.
It was pretty bizarre.
Beautiful.
It was pretty bizarro. Yeah.
It was as beautiful as it was bizarre.
Yeah, and to be honest, when I played through the game, it honestly felt like it was made for VR. I never played the original, like you said, but it felt like an experience that was tailor made for
Very
VR.
Intuitive controls, yeah.
Yeah.
The music is cool, but the last song in Area 5.
Oh yeah.
I was not listening with headphones like you were, but I was getting into.
You haven't gone back and tried it?
I've not yet, no.
Oh,
because I've been trying other things. I'm still trying things I've not tried yet, because of all the crap. But the and then after you played that, you beat the game. We did it in one sitting. That's how short the game is. I played the Area X, which is the new area they designed just for VR, and it's not necessarily moving forward. You can move in three-dimensional space, but the way they did it, it was not motion sick inducing. Beautiful. It was just beautiful.
Oh yeah, I want to try that level. It's awesome.
Yeah, you can try it tomorrow if you want. It's awesome. I still haven't tried Rush of Blood. I like to think it's because I have other things to play, but I'm pretty sure it's because after trying the kitchen thing, I won't be able to handle how scary it is. God, I just...
Yeah.
It's just so much to comprehend. And I told Frozen this, I told Coffee this. To me, this was as significant and as historic for me as playing Super Mario 64 for the first time, or Super Mario Brothers for the first time. It's just like that's clearly to me the next level in gaming or interface with gaming, and I am straight up okay. So Sony has not sent us any units or anything. Bought this with my money. I do not regret one bit buying this, and I'm so anxious to just keep trying it, playing new things, more and more. And they have a pretty good launch lineup as far as variety.
You'd say
that being said, if this is how it is now, I can't imagine what it's like a few years from now. It's going to be ridiculous. I really like how Sony seems to have a good stock of this. So I would definitely suggest you try it before you buy it, even though I'm pretty sure if you bought it, you would not regret it. But try it, just like Coffee said, in case of motion sickness.
It really instills that sense of childhood wonder from, that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yes. It's just, I can't.
Now, it could also, like I said, though, I really think there is experiences on VR that could very much traumatize people. So
if the shark could do that,
yeah,
a realistic shark, so nothing that was trying to be scary. Even the way they introduced a shark, it wasn't an immediate jump scare. They show you a mile away, like here it comes.
No,
yeah.
I'm saying, it'll be interesting to see. Hopefully, it doesn't have negative effects on people that decide to really, dip their toes into the agony side of VR.
Well, I'm still, that's VR. I'm still doing it.
I'm still doing it.
Yeah. Again, I've been over this. Agony's like going home.
Okay.
Yeah. Come on. Yeah, you're right. You told me I don't think I could do PT in VR.
No.
Outlast in VR, no. Just no. Frozen. Oh, I can't wait. Just come up here, Frozen.
Yeah, I know.
I want something Kingdom Hearts.
Talking about it sounds so good.
Oh, sweet crazy. Anyway, that's pretty much our impressions on VR. And then tomorrow, the NX. That's crazy, but anyway,
that's an interesting year for gaming for sure. Probably one of the most interesting ones in a very, very long time.
Frozen, you got a question of the week?
I do, but I do want to say something first off.
Go for it.
I beat Journey the other day.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, it was pretty damn good, I have to say. I mean, I was a bit confused at first on what the hell I was doing.
They don't give you that many instructions, right?
They don't give you any real instructions.
Yeah.
But afterwards, like, everything fell in place. I understood what was going on.
So
really cool experience.
Yeah, so for those of you who don't want to hear any spoilers, please stop listening. But first things first, do you remember I'll never forget the time where you were sliding and everything's all golden? Remember that?
Yes, I do.
So good.
That was amazing. I remember.
That was great.
Did you see at the end of credits that they told you who you played with?
Yeah, the companions that I met.
How cool is that?
Yeah.
That was awesome. That was one of the things at the end. I was like, man, now I understand who the hell these people were.
Yeah, we didn't want to tell you that earlier. And I remember, the climbing up the mountain and freezing. I remember that was sound like, oh my God, am I dying?
Oh, yeah.
But then when you got your power back and exploded, everything was all colorful. It was just beautiful. I remember that.
Yeah, when I was climbing that mountain the first time I played it, I hadn't seen anybody since the very, very beginning of the game, and then all of a sudden someone showed up right next to me on the mountain, and we just both fell face down together, and I was just like, damn.
Oh, damn.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that game came out several years ago, but I'm so glad that was a PlayStation Plus game for everyone to try. I'm glad, man. I'm glad you played it. Glad you loved it.
Yeah, it was good.
Yeah.
All right. Question of the week.
Yep.
All right. So, and I'm going to say this before I ask the question. Jepi, you cannot say PlayStation VR.
Okay.
All right.
Sure. PlayStation VR. You didn't say I couldn't play it.
You guys, personally, what is your most coveted game in your collection, or games in your collection?
Wait, are we talking about, do they have to be physical?
Like ones that I currently own?
Yeah, ones that you currently own that you have a sense of just like you're proud to own that.
The Witness.
Played it to own it.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, what?
The Witness for me.
Oh, that powerful, huh?
Yeah.
Cool.
Let me put it this way. As much as what I've just said about PlayStation VR, knowing the experiences, if I had to choose between The Witness or PlayStation VR, I'd pick The Witness.
Damn.
Wow.
Yeah. Only because I feel like that game has spoken to me more than any other game I've ever played. That's how much I love that game. I cannot stress that enough. That's not a game of the year for me. That's a game of my life so far. So for me, that's a very easy question. Yeah. And if there were ever a physical version of it, I would buy the most special edition I ever could. Let me put it this way. That game alone is making me consider getting a PS4 Pro, because I know that game will have a higher has PS4 Pro benefits. I would drop $400 just to play a better version of that game all over again if I could. Wow. Just that one game.
Wow. Have you gotten all the way through it?
I still have not, because I'm waiting for my friend, and she's been very busy lately. But just what I've played so far, we're very close to the end. Alone, yeah.
Cool. What about you, Coffee?
Kingdom Hearts 2.5.
2 Fizzy.
2 Fizzy HD remixy.
Oh, yeah. Hizzy Dizzy. In the Hizzy Dizzy?
Oh, she is. Yeah.
Oh, jeez.
Man.
Just because that whole package just gives me all the feels in the world. It's really a good game series. So.
Yeah, I mean, hey, I've only heard great things about it. I don't think I've ever heard one negative thing about the whole Kingdom Hearts series, ever. The remotely closely negative thing is more of just a comment on how they title their games, how funny it is.
But, or someone who doesn't like Disney, but that's just kind of a preference.
Yeah.
Thing.
But it's crazy. It's amazing. It's very impressive that they have offered a way for people to really, if they wanted to, experience from the very beginning up to the most current part to get ready for 3, in the best way possible with the updated, graphics, with the GBA game, the DS games, all that stuff. I think that's really cool. It's smart to do that.
Yeah, I really enjoy it. I can't wait for 2.8.
Yeah. 3's never coming out. 3 is never coming out.
No, it's coming out. It's going to be 3 VR. Oh.
What about you, Frozen?
My answer.
Goofy. What?
My answer would be Suikoden.
Oh,
RPG
man.
Back in.
A great game.
Yeah,
1 or 2?
The first one.
I have never played any of those, but I hear those are such amazing RPGs.
Yeah, really good, man. I bought that not knowing anything about that game years ago. When you and I were in high school, and I've put so many hours into that game trying to get all the characters. There's like 108 characters that you can find and team up with in the game. Just
that's ridiculous.
Awesome game, awesome story, awesome gameplay. So yeah, that's one of my prized possessions.
I hear Suikoden 2 is really good.
Yeah, I have that one as well. You should
try it. Find that.
Yeah, I gotta try.
I've never played it. Who published it? Who developed that? I forgot.
Ooh, good question. That was.
Was it Sony?
It's a Konami game.
It's a Konami game?
Yep, Konami. Yeah, Konami.
Yeah, it is Konami.
Dude, what if they announced a new Suikoden game? But they did a good job with it. That'd be pretty cool. After all the crap they did.
From everyone I've heard, they say that 2 is the best one in the series as far as story, gameplay, music. So get on that, Frozen.
I know.
Are there any?
It's like a couple $100, I think.
I have it on Vita. I got it for $10.
Ooh, yeah. Hey, might do something.
Have you any honorable mentions for you guys with that?
As far as ones that I still own, I mean, Chrono Trigger will always be my number 1 of all time, but my game cartridge broke. So.
Oh man, that sucks.
Yeah. I still had it.
Mentioned for me. Man, I don't know.
Yeah, neither do I.
Yeah, I don't really have one right now.
Well, there you go. We'll see. We'll see what happens tomorrow after the NX is shown. It's gonna be a penis. I know
it is. That's all it's gonna be.
Oh Lord. Oh, any of you guys have anything else to add?
No,
I'm good.
Rose, it's all you, man.
Jeez. I don't know why I keep getting surprised by it.
I don't know why either. We just sit back.
All right, everybody. Thank you so much for listening in to episode 45. On behalf of Brainal, again, we want to thank you all for your continued support and listening to us. You can find us on YouTube at Brainal. Of course, you can always find back episodes of the podcast in iTunes and Stitcher. And thank you so much for joining us again. Have a great night.
Thank you. Take care.
Thanks, guys.
Peace.
Have a good one.
Peace.